Hello everybody, my name is Diane McCann and welcome to my channel. I wanted to talk today about perfectionism, and before I start talking about this I'm going to share a personal experience that I had recently to show you the angle that I'm coming at with this. Now, recently I did an interview with somebody, a very good friend of mine actually. And just before the interview, I was messing about with some new equipment that I had. Normally, due to my personal circumstances, it's not always possible for me to do live interviews. However, in this instance, I was able to, which was amazing. And I was using a different way of going live. So not only was I using a different way of going live, I don't do many lives, and I was using slightly different equipment. When we did the interview, it was really interesting because my sound was really high, the volume, and the lady who was interviewing me, her sound was really low. She had some technical issues as well. So when you watched the video back, the volume was really out of balance, really. So if you tried to reduce the volume on mine, then you couldn't hear the other lady so well. Now, the reason I'm sharing this is because in the past, something like that would have really affected me. I would have been highly critical looking at the video. I would have had quite a lot of thoughts running through my head, like, that video is not good enough. What have I done there? Why did I do that? What could I have done differently? All self-criticism, intrusive ways of thinking that are not necessarily healthy for me in the past. And ultimately, it really was down to perfectionism. So what was interesting, why am I sharing this today? What was interesting for me was that when I watched this video back, I realised just how far I have come. I wasn't fazed by the mismatch in the sound and the volume output. It didn't matter. What was important was that I, one, showed up, two, I didn't let the sound affect me, and three, the most important thing was that I said and communicated my knowledge and experience that hopefully will benefit some others who do watch that video. That was what was important. Nothing else around the perfectionism. And when I noticed that, I was amazed and realised that perfectionism is something that I have managed to work through. But in the past, this was a very different experience for me completely. I was in a job that held a lot, and I mean a lot, of responsibility. And to some degree, the perfectionist in me helped because I had to have a lot of attention to detail in this particular job that I did. But what it also means is that when you are a perfectionist, you are never happy. It doesn't matter what you achieve, what the outcome is. You're always going to be, but I could have done better, I could have done more, what shall I do next time? It's a vicious circle of never ever being happy or in the moment with what you are achieving. Now, when I started to really tap into my perfectionism and the experiences that this was showing me, I actually found that perfectionism is just a symptom. It's a masking symptom that we use to mask things that are happening inside of us. And when I did my inner work and I dug right down deep and started to get into the nitty gritty of it all, I discovered a lot of hidden trauma there. And that trauma had been stored within my energetic body. It had been suppressed. And it was trying to give me messages in different ways of these intrusive thoughts, the self-criticism, and in a lot of times self-sabotage. So in working through my perfectionism, which hasn't always been easy, there's always different layers to uncover. I've been able to work through the underlying trauma. And in watching that video this week, I'll be honest with you, I just felt elated. And it took me back to the past in thinking, my gosh, not so long ago, I would have been really hard on myself with that. But I was able to see the true person actually coming through in that video and not worrying about any of that. What was important was sharing my message and getting it out there to help others. So if you're finding that your perfectionism is affecting you in different ways that I've just said, it could be other ways, you know, it is self-sabotage, never ever happy with yourself, attaching to outcomes that have the most impossible outcomes you can imagine, because they're never ever going to be achievable. When we are tied in to the traits of perfectionism, we just go round and round and round in circles, but we never meet the end goal, because the end goal is impossible. Because as a perfectionist, you're never going to be happy with whatever goal you reach. If you're a millionaire, you'll want to do more. It's as simple as that. It comes down to who you are, the inner work inside, seeing what is causing the symptomatic trait of perfectionism, and working through that. And there are layers. It's not easy. You do have to go outside of your comfort zone. And in going outside of your comfort zone and doing the things that make you feel uncomfortable, showing vulnerability, practicing, building confidence, all of those steps, they're building blocks that you're building a foundation on. And when you do that, one day you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, I've done it. It doesn't affect me anymore. I've worked through that experience I've brought into this lifetime. I've fully embraced and experienced what I needed to. I've embodied, and now it's time to let that experience go. And I think sometimes it's only when we look back we don't realise how far we've come and what experiences we've actually overcome and let go. And that is really healthy, to acknowledge that and just take time to acknowledge it and let it sink in. So some steps to help you if you are suffering with the traits of perfectionism. 1, how is this manifesting in your life? 2, what can you do to overcome it? 3, look inwards. Connect energetically. Is there something that needs to be released and let go? 4, embrace your vulnerability, embrace the perfectionism and go forwards. And in going forwards, you'll start to overcome the experience of the perfectionism that you have chosen to have. in this lifetime. I hope that's helpful, and yeah, if you've got any comments, just let me know. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the notification button so that you get any more of my releases if these resonate with you. And have a great day, everybody, from my heart to yours. Goodbye.